Hello, gorgeous. Kirsty K here. First, I have to say that I am sorry I did not get a video out yesterday. So today is day 40. I'm going to do a combination day 39 and 40 on this video today because yesterday I was in the car most of the day, and then I wasn't alone. Like, I did not have 5 minutes by myself yesterday before bedtime in order to make this video, and I could have done it right before I went to bed, but I'm at my mom's house again, and her house is so, I don't know, you can just hear everything. So I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't have time. But I've got my juice with me this morning. I am meeting a friend to go walking, which is why I have my walking gear on, and I am ready. It's beautiful here in Chicago. It's like 50 degrees today, which is way nicer than Wisconsin. So that's kind of a treat. I came back home to bring my daughter home. She spent the week between Christmas and New Year's up by me, and she has to go back to grad school. So she's going to grad school in Chicago, and doesn't really make sense for her to pay to have her car there because the public transportation is so great, and it's really expensive for her to keep her car. So that's more information than you needed, but I drove back here to bring my daughter home. We're spending the weekend with my mom and seeing some friends. So and my husband's not, he's out of town. So he's on a work trip. So I'm here by myself, which is what I want to talk about today. So I love my mom. We have a great relationship. She's an amazing person. But being back here, and particularly staying with her, it triggers me. I have a lot of triggers. There are complicated and multi-layered reasons why I have a food addiction. And a lot of those stem back to patterns that were created in my childhood, and I'm not blaming anybody. I take full responsibility for my choices. I take full responsibility for what I do with the life that I've been given, and that's one of the reasons it's part of the power in juice fasting. So I'm not saying that I had a really bad childhood. I didn't. People have much worse childhoods than I do. I'm not saying that I have a bad relationship with my mom. I don't. We're friends, and she's very supportive, and I love visiting her. But all that being said, I have major triggers when I come back here. And I've lived in Wisconsin now for 2.5 years. I don't really like it there. I thought it would be different. I from the Midwest, so I just felt like, oh, well, I'm still going to be in the Midwest, and it'll be just like living in Chicago. What's the difference? Well, it's very different. The culture's different. There's just so many things. And I've lived in Chicago my entire life. Like, grew up here, went to college here, left Chicago for a brief stint right when I got married because my husband was in grad school at Indiana West University. So lived in Indiana for like a semester, ended up coming back home after school unexpectedly. We were going to, that wasn't our plan, but our plans changed, and have lived here ever since. We're all around all of our family, and it's been a blessing. But we were ready to leave. We were ready for a change. And my husband took a job where when he interviewed for it, they told him he had to be willing to move anywhere in the country. And they sent him away for 10 weeks for training. And when the training was over, they were going to give us our assignment of where we were going to live. And we were frankly up for an adventure. Our youngest son was graduating from high school. We were going to be empty nesters for the first time. And we had kids really young, so we really didn't have time together before like the newlywed phase, like we didn't really get that because we had kids right away when we got married. So all that being said, we were ready for an adventure, and our adventure ended up being in Northeast Wisconsin, which wasn't really the adventure we were looking for. And we've been there 2.5 years, and I don't know how much longer we'll be there. But I'm ready for a change. We were ready to move away from our hometown, and not because we wanted to get away from the people that we love, because that was one of the hardest things to do, was to leave everybody, but because we were ready for an adventure. I don't know how else to describe it. Like we had spent our entire married life like raising our kids and being there for everybody else, and we were just ready to like go do something new. So all that being said, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Basically, I'm struggling because there are just a lot of triggers when I'm home, and a lot of temptation to eat. And if I was smart, I would have just taken my daughter to to grad school. I would have just taken her back to school and not come and spent the weekend here. But I saw it as an opportunity to see some old friends and that I didn't get to see when I was here the last time. And that's been great. But I am struggling with my food addiction. So it sucks. Like, I don't know, I'm being emotional, but I don't want to deal with this. Today's day 40. I've been juice fasting for 40 days, and it's amazing, and it's a fantastic accomplishment. And I'm thrilled with that, but I just am trying to deal with a lot of emotions and a lot of triggers and a lot of stuff from my past, and I don't have the ability to it just takes time, and emotions are raw and they have to be dealt with, and the way that I deal with my emotions is by eating, and that sucks. It sucks. I don't want to do that anymore, and so I need to find new ways to cope with stuff that comes up, and I'm just here to say that it doesn't stop coming up just because I'm on a juice fast, but there are things that I'm grateful for that I get to face and I get to deal with and I get to go through because I am on this juice fast and I am not medicating. But it isn't really fun, and thanks for listening. I'm glad to come on here and process a little bit with you all. I really want to go home. I'm ready to go back. You know, it's funny because there are things about living away from everybody that are lonely and isolating, and there are gifts in living away from everybody and having my own space and getting to make different choices, and I value that. So with hard, there are always gifts, and I'm just trying to look at those gifts and deal with them and appreciate what we have. So I'm ready to go back home and to Wisconsin. It's so confusing because I'm home here in Chicago, but I want to go back home to Wisconsin, and it's part of it is I don't feel like it's home there, but I don't feel like it's home here anymore either, and it's just weird, and I'm in a weird place, and I'm in a weird season of my life, and I'm just dealing with a lot of stuff. So gosh, I didn't mean to come up here, like, on here and just, like, vomit all this emotion all over you all. But, like I said, it helps me to process a little bit. And recognize that there are really good reasons why I'm choosing to do some things differently, and I'm choosing to do some hard things. And the juice, like I said before, I feel like I am in rehab. Like, but I need to go back to my safe environment and do my rehab on my own. So, day 40 feels really good. I've got another 60 days I'm so grateful for, and I may extend it. I don't know. Because this demon, this food addiction monster, which has ruled my life forever. Forever. I don't know if I've shared this before, but my mom took me to my first Weight Watchers meeting when I was 9 years old. Like, I have struggled with food since I was a small child. And that has messed with my head, and I don't really know how to do it different. But I'm going to learn. And I'm going to learn. And I have the time and the space to figure it out. This is too long, and I don't mean to be so emotional, but it's real. I'm just keeping it real. So, hope you all are doing well, and I hope to share more about this battle, this food addiction, when I get home. I have a book, a Bible study actually, that I'm going to start called Freedom from Emotional Overeating, and it's all about mindset, renewing your mind, and setting things straight moving forward. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm really on my own. I don't have a group that I'm in, but I will be sharing some of that process with you all. So thank you for listening. Thanks for letting me just come on here and be real, and let's juice.